Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Gaikotsu Shotenin Honda-san Episode 6. So, last episode, the first story they told was dealing with if customers come in and basically wipe out the shelf of a certain manga. Um, Sometimes they just don't have the stock to fill it back up, so they just have an empty bookshelf. And they're kind of freaking out in the back because they're like, okay, well, it's kind of hard to, gauge what our customers are going to want. So, we can't order like more of a certain thing if nobody really buys it, and then we just got a ton of stock, and and in this case, somebody came in asking for a recommendation, and he gave them the recommendation, and the guy's like, okay, get one for everybody over here. And there was a huge group, so that shelf was wiped out. Second part dealt with a book signing, having a manga artist come into the store and sign their latest volume, and talking about how it can be kind of a problem when they get on Twitter and just comment where they're at, because then it brings in a ton of people and they're not ready for that, so it just makes it a lot harder on them. So when this manga artist was like asking, is it alright if I take a photo of this display over here? And at first Honda was like, yeah, that's fine. And then he thought to himself, wait, and then he stops him and he goes, wait, do you do Twitter? And he's like, I do. Why? And then he tries to explain without being like rude or anything like that, that it's kind of a hassle for the store if the author posts a tweet, because then they get a lot of phone calls and they get a lot of people coming in, and then it just makes it a lot harder for them. So they're like, okay, we'll hold off for now on the photos, and we're just talking about how much power the manga artist has when they're at a store like that. And the manga artist is like, well, I mean, my book's not that good. So I don't know if that's really the case for me. But yeah. The final part, oh god, what was the final part? The final part was oh man, I can't remember. Oh, if what happens when a manga is actually complained about and taken off of shelves for being indecent, or like it's got too much fan service, I guess would be the best way to put it. In fact, Honda brought up a manga that he's been reading. The description, if he would have described it to me without showing me the images, like the characters, I would not have known what anime or manga he was talking about. But basically, he was talking about Golden Kamuy, about how he's been reading that, and it would kind of suck if somebody called and said that it was inappropriate, and then it's got to be taken off the shelves because of that. So he didn't want that to happen. But as far as I've seen from Golden Kamuy, there isn't really anything in there that would be considered inappropriate. Much. And then they get a call from a customer talking about a manga that I guess is relatively new, that has a lot of fan service, and he feels is inappropriate to be selling where young children can get it. And Honda kind of handles it in the best way he can. And the guy asks him, have you read it? Like, what do you think about it? And Honda is just like, well, I mean, I haven't read that book yet, sir. I'm sorry. And it just ends there. They didn't have to take it off the shelf. It was handled very well. So yeah. I'm just going to go into this because I don't think there's any point in me saying that I don't know what they're going to do for this episode. Let's just get into it and see what we're going to learn today about the manga industry. So the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.